Hell yeah. Um, Yo, welcome back to our live feedback stream here on Twitch. I'm gonna start a little bit early here. Like I said in the chat, I have a hard cutoff time at 8:30, so we're only gonna be streaming for an hour and a half here. I'm gonna try and get through as many tunes as possible because I do have to get out of here. But I wanted to make sure that I helped you guys out before I go do my own thing. Um, Welcome to our live feedback stream here on Twitch. I'm your humble host, Fan of Freak, aka Moistmaster Flux. Yo, what's up, Drew? You're actually first in the queue. I just took a look at the queue. You're number one, so make sure you stick around. Yeah, I hope you guys had a good weekend. I definitely had a fucking busy ass weekend. Played a desert festival on Friday, and then had to jump back over here to LA to DJ a wedding on Saturday. And then this is going to be another busy week. I'm actually flying out to Amsterdam tomorrow for ADE. I'm going to be there all week, and then back in LA on the weekend. Actually, no, I'll be back in LA next Monday. And then the following weekend, we have our Halloween compilation, Hollow Freaks Volume 3. Check out all these other releases I got. Other Side, Bop. We got Fresh Cut Freaks. We got Unimaginable on 3000 bass. We got Gangster on Future Cuts. We got Hype One on Thick Freakness, my label. And then we got Dance of the Devil. That is for free download. I don't know if this is the right command though. Maybe it's just devil. Oh no, it's right command. That's for free download on SoundClouds. And then lastly, Hollow Freaks. Oh man, this is gonna be a thick compilation. I'm actually really happy how this one came together. I'm gonna rattle all these names off right now. We got Dutch Dennis and Jacko. We got Foxed. We have myself and Nezio featuring Apotheca. We got Chuck Shadow, we got Unu, we got Shapeshifter, we got Broshi, we got Tones, we got Candle, we got Dare 80, we got Choli, and we got Spencer Arnold. 12 tunes. I think it's about 15 artists. Oh no, it froze. But yeah, it's looking like a very thick compilation that'll be out on October 25th. Ba 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 ba. Can you guys still hear me? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It's fucking just like dropped out suddenly, which is very odd. It doesn't normally do that. Bing bong, bing bong. Goldest. Okay. Well, I think it'll slowly come back. Hopefully it just jumps back on. It's like super slow on my end too. It's showing like 600, 700 kilobits per second. But bum. It's very strange. It's this normally doesn't happen. Take freakness. Here we go. Bang. I don't know if it's OBS, honestly. It's only oh, there you go. Showing like 2600 kilobits per second. All right. It looks like it's working again. You guys see me? You guys hear me? You guys feel me? All right, we are back. Yeah, that was weird. I don't know why it dipped like that. Maybe maybe somebody else is in the house is like fucking downloading some shit or something. But yeah, I already went through all the releases. Up next we got our Hollow Freaks release party. That's gonna be on November 2nd. Feel free to RSVP if you guys want to come through. It's a really thick lineup. This is basically all the artists on the label, most of which are releasing music on that Hollow Freaks compilation. So come through to that. Lastly, our sponsor here, Eargasm, earplugs. Per usual, if you guys need earplugs, go ahead and grab some 10% off using my code Phantom10. All right. Like I said, I have a hard cutoff at 8:30, so we're just gonna power through as many tracks as we possibly can. I'm gonna load up everybody in the queue. We got Drew Do first. We got Crossfades right after that. We got Anve after that. We got Don't Know, UKG with Bassline. All right, I'm into it. I love me some UKG Bassline. Curse of Tongues. I've seen that name quite a bit, actually. I think Curse of Tongues is also on 3000 Bass. Yeah, and per usual, you know, if you guys are in the chat and you hear your name, make sure you stick around. You guys will be prioritized. If you're not in the chat, the honest reality is I'm probably not going to get to your track today. Just because, like I said, I have to be out of here by 8:30. So if you're not in the chat, unfortunately, you snooze, you lose. But I will be back next week to do another stream, so I could probably get you in on that. Yeah, no problem, dude. Dom Disco, Eve Thorne. Again, make sure you guys, if I call your name, make sure you guys stick around. I will prioritize your tune as long as you're in the chat. You guys can also skip the queue if you would like. There's two ways to do it. You can use your channel points in the chat box. I think it's like 1,000 channel points. Or you can send monies on the bottom left, Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal, and the amount is totally up to you. All right, Drew Deuce here. Let's just dive in. Let's do it. Nice one. Definitely is that kind of res sound, that mid tempo, very heavy. Yeah, it's super dope vibe here. I'm really digging the sound overall. You did a really good job with sound selection. Everything works really well together. Um, Mix is very clean as well. Really nice intro. Feels very cinematic. Really dig the sound selection and vibes. The drop is very fat. Love the low end. The vocal chops are very nice too. Nice touch. Really solid groove. Really solid swing. I love the variations. Definitely do a good job of keeping things interesting and fresh throughout the course of the drop, throughout the course of the entire arrangement. Um, and yeah, very solid arrangement, and I definitely dig the change up on the second drop. And that second break also feels very nice, very kind of dramatic, and um, definitely adds to the overall tone. My one piece of feedback is that I feel like that vocal should have been introduced sooner. I feel like it should have been introduced at the very beginning, even if in a more kind of limited capacity, because it sounds like it's a very long sort of like um, phrase. I think the vocal as a whole kind of tells a story. I'm not entirely a huge fan of the really high pitched up vocal, only because it's a little bit difficult to hear. But if you're gonna do that, I think you need to find a way to make it a little bit more present and just be able to like kind of hear what she's saying and understand, because it was a little bit difficult to understand and follow that vocal in particular. You can probably achieve that by adding a secondary layer that's kind of pitched down a few semitones, so you're getting a little bit of both. You're getting some sort of harmonic um, phrasing going on. But yeah, definitely I would try to introduce that vocal sooner in the first intro. Maybe even use like little bits and pieces in the drop. Um, but yeah, it really is like the primary hook here. So yeah, I think it definitely can be used a little bit more effectively. But overall, again, very great sound selection, very solid vibe. I love the arrangement so far, and the drops are very fat. Really, the only thing that I have is that vocal. That's really the only thing. Everything else sounds great. Good job, Drew Do. Hell yeah. Yeah, we're gonna go kind of faster today, because like I said, I have a hard cutoff at 8:30, so we're gonna power through as many as possible. I'm gonna go through the lineup here, just so everybody knows where they're at. We got Crossfades, we got Anve, we got Don't Know, we got Curse of Tongues, we got Light Waste, Smooth Senpai, Thicky, Dom Disco, Proxima, We Love Astro, and Leonard Ellis. If you're not in the chat, unfortunately, I'm probably gonna skip you, throw you to the back line, or we'll have to do you next week. We got up next. We got the man's Crossfades. I just saw Crossfades, so I'm pretty sure he's here. Yeah, let's do it. Nice one, bruv. Super solid vibe per usual crossfades. Groove is definitely there. It's down. Very nice interplay between your kick sub. Definitely add some nice groove. Drums are really great. Love the sound selection. Super bouncy. Again, super groovy. I'm gonna use that word a lot apparently. Um, and those vocal chops are really cool too. They add a nice kind of vibe to things. Um, Proxima says that it could use a counter melody. I definitely hear that. I definitely agree with that. You can add in some kind of weird wonky synths. Obviously, this sounds like a whip because it's a very generic name, Birdie Dirty Bird style. It sounds like you're kind of just like it's like the start of an idea. Um, but it's already pretty well fleshed out. Really, all you need is like I think this track sounds like you're at like the 70% mark. What you really need is again a solid vocal hook is gonna basically drive this track if you can find something. If anything, I would try to write something yourself, and then some weird wonky kind of counter melody, little random synths. Um, but the track as it is right now is a very strong foundation. You basically have everything that you need. You know, you have your a solid kick sub, you have a solid groove, solid drums, you have a solid melody too. It's definitely very vibey. I could definitely hear this being played in like a club environment. So basically, you're more than halfway there. You've got a very strong foundation for a tune. Really, all you need is a strong vocal hook, something to kind of drive the momentum and keep things moving forward, something to keep it very memorable, something for people to kind of latch onto. That's pretty much all I got on your tune this week, Crossfades, but so far it's sounding great. All right. Up next, do we have Anve? Anve in the chat. Do we have Anve? Bump, 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 bump. All right, going once, going twice. All right, Anve's at the back of the line. Don't know. I saw Don't Know a second ago. Don't know. Are you still here? You still in the chat? All right, Don't Know's here. Let's do it. Thicky over here. Thicky over here making up his own lyrics. Um, pretty though. It's a pretty dope tune. That low end is fucking fat. Um, really, really nice. It's got like this kind of like definitely has kind of like that UKG sort of baseline sort of vibe. Um, really fat drop. Yeah, I'm loving the baseline sounds themselves. Very fat, very thick indeed. Um, the vocal is cool, but it does feel a bit generic. Yeah, it's not. It doesn't really stick out to me as something like particularly unique or something to kind of something like catchy and something to latch onto. Um, I think it's good as like a placeholder vocal, something because it definitely helps. I think it kind of helped you write this tune, and I think that's definitely always a good thing to have like kind of like a placeholder vocal. But I think now this track is kind of at a point where you can probably find something a little bit more original and unique. Either you can find a vocalist, or I would even recommend trying to use them using your own vocals. Um, you could still probably use this vocal maybe as a secondary vocal, just as like chops in the drop. But I would definitely kind of opt for something a little bit more original, to be honest. Um, Secondarily, there's a little bit too much lows on this vocal. So it as far as mix wise, it kind of gets in the way of a lot of the bass line and the low end. Um, so I would kind of pull that EQ back a little bit more, cut out a little bit more of the lows on that vocal. The bass line is sick. Um, Overall, super solid arrangement. I'm really liking the idea, but yeah, I think it definitely has enough space in the mix for some like top line stuff. Um, you could go for like strings or um, little keys or something. Some sort of secondary melody. I think the mix definitely has space for it because most of the mix here is really just the low end, and then that vocal kind of fills in a lot of that mid range, and then a lot of your drums also in the mid range, and then the top end with some of those hats. But there's definitely a lot of space in the top end of the mix, so I think you can kind of play around with that a little bit more. There's definitely a little bit more space to play. But overall, love the vibes here. Really dope tune. Lots of energy. Good job. Don't know. Hell yeah. All right. Enamorada. Yeah, no problem. Do we have Curse of Tongues in the chat? Curse of Tongues. Are you in the chat? Going once. Going twice. All right. Curse of Tongues is at the back of the line. Lightweiss. I think we saw you in the chat earlier. Lightweiss, just say what's up. We'll jump in here. Light Device. Light Device DMB. Excuse me. Light Device, are you still here? Just say what's up. Oh, it looks like he's out of the chat. So, fortunately, Light Device, you're going to the back. If you show up, just say what's up. We'll bring you back to the front of the line. Do we have Smooth Senpai? Smooth Senpai in the chat. Are you in the chat? Say what's up. This stream might actually be a lot quicker than I had originally planned. All right, Smooth Senpai's here. I'm just gonna name everybody off so you guys know who's next. Smooth Senpai, you're up next right now. We got Thicky, we got Dom Disco, we got Proxima, we got We Love Astro, we got Leonard Ellis. All right. Nice, nice one. Um, yeah, very solid groove here. Overall, pretty simple tune, but nothing really wrong with simple tunes. Overall, everything works here. I think largely it's gonna be mostly kind of like mixing stuff, and I'll just get into my feedback. I really dig the intro in this. I really like the sample selection as far as the drums, and you have a very solid groove with that bass line. I do think the intro is a little bit long, so I would probably chop off like the first 8 bars. um, you could even get away with chopping off the last 8 on this too. You would still have, even with chopping off the first 8 bars and the last 8 bars, you would still have a very solid extended um, edit or extended mixed length on this track. Um, and then if you wanted to make a radio edit, you could even chop that down further by probably like another 16 bars or something. But yeah, that's something to think about later on. To me, the kick feels a little bit muffled here. I don't know if that was intentional or if that's just like the sound. I don't know if that's a sample, the sample choice that you made, or if you're EQing a lot of that top end. If it's the latter, I would say kind of open up that filter a little bit more so the kick has a little bit more space to breathe and it has a little bit more crunch and bite to it on the top end. If it's just a sample, I would probably consider switching out the kick a little bit more. Oh, do you have an ad still, or can you hear me? Can you hear my feedback right now? That's the real question. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, you're good now. Good. But yeah, super solid groove here. I like the intro, the build up. I think the build up could use a little bit more drama to it. And I think the easiest way to do that is probably just like a snare roll. Come on, you gotta believe. And then basically pull out. Come on, you gotta believe. You have those like pads in the background. You could pull that out maybe like 2 to 4 bars before the drop. Come on, you gotta believe. Okay. And then just have the little crash cymbals and the vocal. That's it in your pre-drop. Yeah, but I would say pull out that pad 2 to 4 bars before the drop. That way it becomes like a lot more dramatic, and that drop will have a lot more impact on it. Again, overall very solid groove on the actual drop. I would like to hear more ear candy and other melodies besides the vocal, because the vocal does get a little bit repetitive. So I would like to hear a little bit of variation, add in some other, like I said, other ear candies, kind of some other secondary melody, just to kind of keep things fresh and interesting and keep things moving forward. I would also check the EQ on your hats, because some of your hats, yeah, it's a little bit too it's a little bit too piercing on the ear. So that might be might be 2 issues. It might be that the hats are a little bit just too loud in the mix, but secondarily there might be some sort of rogue frequency on the top end. I would check probably around between 16K and 18K. There's probably some sort of really high pitched frequency that's popping up in your EQ. So I would just take a look at that. And then on this second build, the vocal timing does get a little bit off. Yeah, so I would kind of work on that second build a little bit more. I think it needs to be finessed a little bit more, just so that build kind of rolls into the drop a little bit more cleanly, and there's a little bit more drama and energy. And you could do the same thing that I said in the first pre-drop. Make sure you pull out everything except maybe the vocal and your crashes, so it gives it a lot more impact and drama. And then lastly, just one final mix thing is that you have these rides come in on the second drop. I have no issue with the rides themselves. I think they're just a little bit loud in the mix. Yeah, I think they could just be pulled down maybe like 2 dB, so they sit a little bit lower in the mix. The reality is I would probably put them later in the drop, but I think you're using them there mostly for energy and emphasis, which it honestly isn't a bad thing. I think you can definitely do that. I don't really have a massive issue. I think with that, I think it just needs to be pulled down in the mix just ever so slightly. But yeah, that's all I got to say about that Smooth Senpai. Overall solid tune, very solid groove. Hell yeah. I hope that feedback was helpful and useful. All right, we're moving here. No problem, dude. Do we got Thicky in the chat? Thicky with 2 Q's. I think I saw you earlier, Thicky. Just say what's up. I'm pretty sure you're still here. Excuse me. Yo. All right. Yeah, no problem, man. Nice one. You said this is a rough whip. Yeah, it sounds like it's definitely the start of an idea. Um, I really love that melody though. Boom, 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 boom. And the sound selection on that is really nice too. It's kind of ominous, kind of spooky a little bit, which is cool. It's very, very appropriate to the season. Really cool, really cool intro, very dramatic. The drop is very fat. I will say I'm not a huge fan of the snare you're using in the build. It doesn't feel like it fits necessarily. I don't have an issue with the actual rhythm and the actual pattern that the snare is playing, but I think it needs to be I think it needs to be a different sound. I actually like the snare in your drop. I mean, you could probably just replace that snare in your build with the snare in the drop and just use the same sort of pattern. Yeah. I think the mix overall needs a bit of a cleanup, only because dynamically there's kind of these big shifts. Um, most notable going from the breaks to the drops, but I think also within the drops there needs to be a little bit more balancing between your bass sounds and your drum sounds, because right now it feels like your bass is taking up almost the entirety of the mix, and the drums are kind of just like sitting underneath. I think there needs to be a little bit more of a balance between the two. Again, I love that melody. And the breaks kind of need a little bit of a balance in the mix as well, just so that you will do, Chief. Um, yeah, just so that we can kind of get a full view, a full picture of what you're trying to paint here. And then lastly, the second drop is missing sub. It needs more sub. We definitely get sub in this first drop, but it noticeably falls out in the second drop. So it doesn't have a full body, I think. So that's something definitely consider. In the second drop, make sure you got some sub to kind of give a full body to your sounds. And I think the second drop needs a little bit more refinement. It sounds like you're definitely aiming towards some like different variations, so you're not doing like this copy pasta thing. But I think overall it sounds a little bit scattered. So I think it needs to follow a sort of similar structure melodically as the first bass line, just with some minor changes and variations. It sounds like you're kind of like swinging for the fences, which is great. The creative risk is really great. I just think it needs a little bit more refinement so that it sounds a little bit more structured and kind of on theme here with the rest of the tune. But yeah, overall, super solid. Start of an idea. Just needs some little refinement. Good job, Thicky. Hell yeah. All right, we got Dom Disco next. I see Dom Disco in the chat there. We got Proxima after that. We got We Love Astro. We got Leonard Ellis. And I don't know if these other guys showed up. We got Anve, Curse of Tongues, and Lightways. They're currently at the end of the line here because I didn't see them in the chat. And again, I have a hard cutoff at 8:30, so it looks like we'll probably get through most, if not all of these. Timos, your link is broken. Just FYI. All right, Dom Disco, let's dive into your tune here.
Turn this. Turn this. Turn this.
Backing it up.
Turn this.
Upside down.
Turn this. Turn this. Turn this. Turn this. Turn this.
Upside down.
Turn this.
Kick it.
Turn this.
Upside down.
Turn this. Turn this.
Backing it up.
Turn this.
Upside down.
Nice one. Definitely has this nice interplay between kind of like wubby bass line and G house almost. And I say G house because of that vocal. The vocal kind of gives me like a G house sort of vibe. But yeah, really digging the energy and the vibe here. I will say that I really love the piano melody. However, I'm not super psyched about the piano sound itself, only because it sounds very synthetic and kind of dry. So I would see if I could. I would basically keep the melody as it is because the melody is fucking great. But yeah, I would replace the sound. So if you can find another comparable sort of key that kind of fits more of this vibe and this kind of darker sort of tone you got going on, I think that would kind of mix better. Piano suggestions. Well, the reality is I use whenever I make sounds, I typically just go for Serum, and then I kind of just use some sort of preset and then just adjust it for taste, or I add in some sort of distortion plugin so it gives it a little bit more of a unique sound. If not, I would just throw, if you can find like a really nice kind of key sample and just throw it in a sampler, that would be, yeah, Lightwise, your chat works now. I would try and find a sample that kind of fits the overall vibe of this too. But yeah, I think the piano melody's great, but I think the sound needs some swapping out. Secondly, you have these bassline notes that are playing in the break sections and like the intro. Whoa, 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 whoa. So I think those kind of wobs in the breaks and builds are kind of unnecessary. Number one, they're too low in the register and they're a little bit distracting, honestly. So they kind of just get in the way, honestly. And you already have a bass line in there kind of playing a really solid melody. It's basically just playing the bass notes of your piano melody, which is perfect. It actually sounds great with just the piano and that kind of bass line, that sub playing underneath. I would remove those little wobs in the intros and the breaks. Whoa, whoa. whoa. I would kind of basically just remove those, keep those for the drop. Um, The drop is fat. Yeah, like I said, almost like a combination of G House and baseline, which is really cool. And you have some very solid variations. And the arrangement solid as well. I think the vibe over here is really cool. Um, it could probably use a little bit more of a substantial vocal, but I think as for right now, in the current state of this track, I think the vocal works really well. Yeah, that's all I got to say about that. Well done, Dom Disco. Timo, like I said, I think your link is broken, so try and resubmit if you're there. Just FY Izzle. I might be able to get through all of these before 8:30, so let's power through. We got Proxima, we got We Love Astro, we got Leonard Ellis, and we got Vacolt. Let's dive in here. This is really fucking sick, honestly. I was not expecting anything like that. Feels almost like it could be in a score for a fucking sci-fi movie or like a sci-fi horror. You know, the first for whatever reason, the first thing I'm thinking about is Possessor. I don't know if you've seen Possessor, but it's a Cronenberg film, not David Cronenberg, his son. I forget his son's name, but he's Cronenberg too. Body definitely like a body horror movie, but it's fucking yeah. It definitely is giving me that sort of kind of vibe. It's really out there, but like it sounds very cohesive. I have not Crimes of the Future. Why does that sound familiar? Crimes of the Future. I have not seen this movie. Actually, I think I saw bits and pieces of this, but I haven't seen the actual full movie. I'm definitely gonna have to check it out. But it's it fucks, but it's a harder watch. Dude, the reality is, I feel like most body horror is kind of like a hard watch for most people, but like I actually kind of enjoy body horror. It definitely kind of has like a more visceral reaction in people, which I really love. I mean, I just love horror in general, especially sci-fi horror. But yeah, I digress. Yeah, really digging the vibes here. Love, really nice intro, really great sound design. Overall, the mix is very, very clean. The groove is really interesting, very unique, and the arrangement's very unique as well. Yeah, I really dig this. Like I said, it kind of feels like it's very kind of like it belongs in some sort of sci-fi movie of some sort. Which yeah, it's just really dope. I honestly have no notes for this. I say just keep doing what you're doing. Very well done, Proxima. All right, let's keep things moving here. We got another 30 minutes. We love Astro. Are you here? We love Astro. We got Leonard Ellis and we got Vacolt. Are you guys here? I know Vacolt's here, but do we got We Love Astro or Leonard Ellis? I saw We Love Astro in the chat earlier. Just gonna make sure he's still here. Okay, Astro, you're here. All right, We Love Astro up next. Beam, 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 beam. Let's do it.
Dance all night. I just wanna dance all night. I just wanna dance all night. I just wanna dance all night. Dance all night. Dance all night. I just wanna dance all night. I just wanna dance all night. I just wanna dance all night. Dance all night. Dance all night. I just wanna dance all night. I just wanna dance all night. I just wanna dance all night. Dance all night. Dance all night. I just wanna dance all night. I just wanna dance all night. I just wanna dance all night. Dance all night. Dance all night. I just wanna dance all night. I just wanna dance all night. I just wanna dance all night. Dance all night. Dance all night. I just wanna dance all night. I just wanna dance all night. I just wanna dance all night. Dance all night. Dance all night. I just wanna dance all night. I just wanna dance all night. I just wanna dance all night. Dance all night. Dance all night. I just wanna dance all night. I just wanna dance all night. I just wanna dance all night. Dance all night. Dance all night. I just wanna 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 dance all
Blow you out of the frame.
Nice. Obviously this sounds just like a whip for now. It doesn't sound like it's a completely full arrangement because we have like kind of like this intro drop, break, and then kind of like this bridge going on here. So I think it probably could go, you know, into another kind of build and then another drop. An even crazier, more energetic drop. I'm digging the vibes here. Yeah, Vakult. I think Vakult called it. He was like, "Oh, I sense a hard as fuck kick coming," and then that fucking kick just came in. Yeah, that fucking kick is fat. Really digging the energy and the vibes here. That vocal is, you know, for how kind of simple that vocal is. It works really well for this kind of tune. Very simple, very straightforward. I think my notes for this one, I think the intro kind of build thing right here, I think it needs a little bit more energy, a little bit more drama to kind of pull you in into the drop. It feels a little bit too minimal. So yeah, I would have liked a little bit more energy in that build. Secondly, I think some of your hats have a little bit too much reverb on them. So I think when you add in that reverb on those hats, kind of make sure that you're cutting out the lows because it's starting to kind of wash over that kick, I think you want to have as much fidelity on your low end as you possibly can. So kind of basically just high pass most of your hats and any kind of reverb that you have on the hats as well. So you're only getting just top end on that reverb. Otherwise, it's going to kind of muddy the low end with those kicks. Maybe we could get a little bit more transitional effects here. Same thing when you're going from, you know, from your drop into your break, as well as from this break into this bridge section.
I just wanna dance all night.
Blow you out of the frame.
Actually, you know what? That transition's fine right there.
I just wanna dance all night.
Blow you out of the frame.
Yeah, I wasn't really expecting going from sort of like a techno sort of vibe into this kind of like hip hop breakbeaty sort of vibe, but it's pretty fucking cool. I was not expecting it, and it actually works really well. My only other piece of feedback is just continue writing this. Fill out the rest of the arrangement. Like I said, you could go from this bridge into another kind of break build, and then, or just go from this bridge directly into a build and then into a second drop, and then finish off the tune. It definitely has, you know, it definitely feels like it has more room for additions on this. But overall, like I said, Astro, digging the vibe, really solid start to an idea. Hell yeah. All right, a little under 30 minutes here. Leonard Ellis. I saw Leonard Ellis in the chat. Just say what's up. I know you're over there in Europe. Oh, it looks like he dropped out. Bing bong. Leonard Ellis. I think Leonard Ellis dropped out. So I can do his offline, potentially. Let's get to the rest of these guys who are in the chat. We have Vakult, and we have Lightweiss, and we have Timos. So let's dive in here.